Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm an artist and YouTuber, and I am this close to quitting this YouTube channel. If you are a creative person like me, you may have struggled with this feeling that there's something holding you back, that you are not where you wanted to be on your creative journey at this point. You spend a lot of time in your mind sort of spiraling, procrastinating, doubting yourself, not engaging with the creative process. That, my friends, is called self-sabotage, and I have been guilty of this as long as I can remember, my whole life. So today I thought we could dive into this idea of self-sabotage and understand why, as creatives, we are particularly vulnerable to it. You're gonna hear a lot of crows. I see crows flying all over the place. Oh, is that an omen?
Not only is it universal and that everybody experiences it, but they all seem to experience it with the same script. You know, You're not worthy, you're too old, too young, too fat, too thin, whatever. Or let's do something else. Let's distract ourselves with something else. So everybody gets the same thing. I mean, I always say that it's a force of nature. You know, it's not personal. It's not specific to you, even though that voice in your head sounds like it is specific to you. It's saying Joe, and then it's hitting you right in the points that are your sore points, you know?
Yeah.
But it's really not personal. Everybody seems to experience the same thing.
I have had many YouTube channels, and I keep getting them up to a certain level, about where the level this channel is now, and I decide to quit. Psychologist Jordan Peterson says highly creative people are really different from other people. Their brains are wired to explore the unknown. That sounds cool, right? But here's the issue. That exploration comes at a risk, and our brains don't like risk.
A tendency to be depressed is part of the kit that comes with the creative aspect of the brain.
That's right.
How did reading that impact you?
I realized this tendency to get depressed, I would never want to not have that if I would lose the creative gift that came with it. It's part of it. It's probably an overactive brain.
So what's really happening in our heads? Neuroscientists found that highly creative people tend to have a superactive default mode network, or DMN, in their brains. Now, this is the part of the brain that fires up when you're daydreaming or letting your mind wander. Kind of like when you're in the shower and suddenly you come up with that best idea ever. But here's the problem. An active DMN is also what causes us to overthink. So while we're great at coming up with ideas, we're also great at second guessing them. So this is why we can swing from, this is the greatest idea ever, I'm a genius, to why did I even start this? This is horrible, in the span of like 5 minutes. So how do we stop sabotaging ourselves? How do we get out of this cycle of getting inspired and excited and starting and stopping and eventually quitting altogether and getting nowhere?
The mood darkens. I get a darkening mood, and I want to get out of it. You can get depressed when things are going great. That's the most depressing.
When does it happen most for you?
Irrespective of circumstance, I just don't feel good. Sometimes just don't feel good. And the best way to get out of it for me is work. Work is the best antidote. That's why I work so much. Because it's for some reason, you feel like you're not wasting time. Marcus Aurelius says your only focus should be on getting better at what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing, get better at what you're doing. Everything else is a complete waste of time.
The hard to accept truth is that it's not about motivation, it's about work. It's about showing up even on the days that you don't want to. And I know Nobody wants to hear that. And we are constantly looking for an easy way out. If I could only make that perfect video, if I can only figure out the thing that will launch my career. And we spend so much time looking, reading, studying, self-help, analyzing, and we're avoiding what we need to do, and that is just work. Seinfeld once said, if you don't have discipline, you're not an artist, you're a child. I think he's right. We can't romanticize creativity. The truth is, the magic happens when we do the work. You are most vulnerable in those in-between times that you're not creating something. And I feel this myself every time, every single time that I post a video. The next 2 days are so dangerous because my videos never do as well as I want them to. And I get disappointed. It's like I'm reading the analytics and they just do nothing but make me feel bad about myself. I think I put so much work into this. I thought people would really like this. And there are people that do, but it's not what I dreamed of and hoped for. So that time is really difficult. But when I'm creating, when I'm into the process of the next video, then I just feel like $1,000,000. I feel fantastic. I feel full of hope until I upload it. And then it starts again. It's this cycle that happens over and over again. And it's so important to learn those cycles, to learn your triggers, to learn to that moment when your brain tells you to go eat something, to go look at Instagram, to stop what you're doing, to feel bad about yourself, to notice those thoughts that you have and tell yourself, there it is. That's a lie. Don't listen. That's a lie. That's resistance talking. That's self-sabotage. It's not real. Work through it. Get back to work. Just get back to work as quick as possible. Let me share with you some practical tips that have helped me push through self-sabotage and get back to focusing on the work. And I am still a work in progress. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I haven't figured this all out. I struggle with wanting to quit all the time. Any of these people who have channels who are encouraging you to start a YouTube channel, I don't know why they're doing that. It is, if you want to do it to try to make money, it is torturous. It's really torturous mentally. So how do you put this into practice? Learn your triggers. I have reached a point that I know when I'm about to self-sabotage. For me, it's snacking. For you, it might be something else. It might be the internet. It might be alcohol. I don't know. Whatever it is for you to avoid feeling that discomfort, know what that is. Learn what that is. And honestly, I don't want to say it's as easy as, because I know it's not easy, but you do just have to notice it and stop, not follow through with whatever that thought is telling you to do. You just have to stop yourself.
If you want to be a writer, sit down in front of the keyboard. If you want to paint, get up before an easel. There's something about the physical act of putting your body in a place where your dreams can happen that creates a kind of a magic. Put it today, put it tomorrow, put it the next day, put it the next day. In the continuity of that, there's tremendous power.
See if you can get excited about the unknown. Oftentimes, I will be sitting and I have a lot of my artwork up on the wall and I'll be looking at it, and I really love my own artwork. And I will often think, if I hadn't sat down at that exact moment to create that piece of artwork, it never would have existed. And I feel almost like I have a responsibility to this artwork that doesn't exist, to bring it out from the ether into our realm, as though it has a spirit and it wants to be born into real life, into our life. And I know that sounds crazy and woo-woo, but I don't know. I feel that way. And often I wonder on those days that I am self-sabotaging what I would have made. And I'll never know. I'll never know, because I didn't sit down at that exact moment, and that piece is gone. Become sort of excited about working with this unknown force, and feel maybe a little bit of a responsibility to it. Because if you are a creative person, if you were born with a creative brain, there's a reason for it. You are meant to be creating, and that is your responsibility. I'm almost 50. And I have stumbled for most of half a century. And right now, at almost 50, I am not where I always dreamed I would be. And I'm at the point where I'm starting to doubt if this is ever going to be a reality for me, that I'm ever going to be able to make an income from my creative self. And so that as you evolve, the resistance never goes away, never goes away. It just evolves. So maybe at the base level, it's you telling yourself you want to have a snack. But the longer you're working with it and the more you defeat it at those base levels, the more intelligent it gets. And it always sort of keeps up with you. It always is going to make your life difficult.
It never goes away, it never gets any less, because resistance is so protean, it keeps changing form. And as you move to hopefully a higher level, resistance gets a little more nuanced and a little more subtle, trying to fake you out. But I think you learn that it's always there and you're always going to have to face it. I also believe that resistance, like death, gives a meaning to life.
Right.
If we didn't have it, it's going to be, what would we be? We'd be in the Garden of Eden picking fruit and just happy and stupid,
Don't ever stop creating. Please, I'm telling you this. Keep working at it. Stop letting your dashed expectations ruin your life. Just move on to the next thing as quickly as possible. Keep showing up, keep working, and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. I'm just accepted that I have these feelings all the time. I have these feelings all the time. I'm hard on myself all the time. I always think I'm not good enough. I always think I'm never going to make it. For part of the week. And then I completely flip and I am so inspired. This is the creative brain. And understand, it's not you. It's not you. This is how we were made. This is how we are wired. It is not you. Accept it, but take responsibility for yourself. Don't let it defeat you. If you'd like to learn more about my artistic background, check out this video. And please give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Keep creating, even if it's just for 15 minutes today. Bye.